The Color Purple would be a historical novel. The Color Purple would be a historical novel, as Li says, and thinking of this made me chuckle. When I was sure the characters of my new novel were trying to form, or as invariably thought of it, trying to contact me, to speak through me, I began to make plans to leave New York. 3 months earlier, I had bought a tiny house on a quiet Brooklyn street, assuming because my desk overlooked the street and a maple tree in the yard. Representing garden and view, I would be able to write. I was not. I disposed of the house, stored my furniture, packed my suitcase, and flew alone to San Francisco. The characters muttered, "It is pretty, but us are not lost. Nothing in no place that has earthquakes." They also don't like seeing buses, cars, or other people whenever they are tempted to look out. Us don't want to see me, none of this, they said. I make us, can't think. That was when I knew for sure these were country people. Eventually, we, lover, her and her lover, found a place in Northern California we could afford and find. We could afford, and that my characters liked. There were days and weeks and even months when nothing happened, nothing whatsoever. I walked on my bed, took long walks with my love, lay on an island we discovered on the middle of the river and dabbled my fingers in water. I swam, explored the redwoods forest all around us, lay out in the meadow, picked apples, stalked the opposed of trees. My quilt began to grow, and of course, everything was happening. Shelley and Sugg and Albert were getting to know each other, coming to trust my determinations to serve the entry into the world of the best of my ability. And what is more, and felt so wonderful, we began to love one another. And what is even more, to feel immense thankfulness for our mutual good luck. Just as summer was ending, one or more of my characters, Shelley, Shut, Albert, Sophia. Shelley, Shut, Albert, Sophia, or Harpo would come for a visit. We would sit wherever I was sitting and talk. They're very obliging, engaging in charming. They were, of course, at the end of the story, but were telling it to me from the beginning. Things that made me sad often made them laugh. "Oh, we got through that. Don't pull such a long face," they would say. "Or you think Reagan's bad? You ought have seen some of the rednecks us come up under." The days passed in a blaze of happiness. The school started, and it was time for my daughter to stay with me for 2 years. Could I handle it? Shug said, right out that she did not know. While her mother raised her children, nobody else said anything at this point. In the novel, Shelley did not even know where her children were. They just quieted down, didn't visit as much, and took a firm, well, let us wait and see attitude. My daughter arrived, smart, sensitive, cheerful, at school most of the time. My daughter arrived, smart, sensitive, cheerful, at school most of the day, but quick-witted, with tea and sympathy on her return. My characters adored her. They saw she spoke her mind in no uncertain terms and would fight back when attacked. When she came home from school one day with bruises, but said, "You should see the other guy." Shelley, raped by her stepfather as a child and somewhat fearful of life, began to reappraise her own condition. Rebecca gave her courage, which she always gives me, and they grew to like her so much she would wait until 3:30 to visit me. So just when Rebecca would arrive home, needing her mother and her, there would be Sally trying to give her both. Fortunately, I was able to bring Shelley's own children back to her, a unique power of novelists. Though it took 30 years and a good bit of foreign travel, but this proved to be the largest single problem in writing the exact novel I wanted to write between about 10:30 and 3. I had planned to give myself 5 years to write The Color Purple. Teaching, speaking, or selling apples as I run out of money. I had planned to give myself 5 years to write The Color Purple, teaching, speaking, or selling apples as I ran out of money. But on the very day my daughter left for fun, less than a year after I started writing, I wrote the last page. It was like losing everybody I loved at once. I loved at once. First Rebecca, to whom everyone searched for on the last page to say goodbye, then Sally, Shug, Nettie, and Albert. It was like losing everybody I loved at once. First Rebecca, to whom everyone searched for on the last page to say goodbye, then Shelley, Shug, Nettie, and Albert, Mary, Agnes, Harpo, and Sophia. Eleanor, Jane, Adam, and Tasi, Omatango, Olivia. Mercifully, my quilt and my lover remained. I threw myself in his arms and cried. My dear students, the novel evoked mixed response in the people. It redefined notions of female selfhood, family, God, race relation, and sexuality. The novel evoked mixed response in the people because it redefined notions of female selfhood, family, God, race, relations, and sexuality. The Color Purple, written in the form of letters, epistolary form, deals with the story of a girl, Sally, a 14-year-old black girl. Please pay attention. The Color Purple, written in the epistolary form, deals with the story of Shelley, a 14-year-old black girl who has been raped by a man she considered to be her father. His name is Alfonso, but she calls him Pa. Later in the novel, she comes to know that he is her step and not her biological father. Later in the novel, she comes to know that he is her step and not her biological father. She has had two children through this man. Both the children are given away by him. She has a sister named Nettie, whom she loves very clearly, very dearly, very lovingly, very caringly. Both the children are given away by him. She has a sister named Nettie, whom she loves very dearly, lovingly, and caringly. Sally gets married to Albert, referred to as Mr., who was actually interested in marrying Nettie, but Pa did not allow it. His wife, Annie Julia, has been killed by her lover, and Mr. is left with 4 children to look after. This is the reason why he married Sally. That means he wants to marry Sally just to look after his 4 children. So, this is the reason why he married Sally, to act as a caretaker. Mr. also has a woman in his life called Shug Awe. Mr. also has a woman in his life, that means his girlfriend, called Shug Averi. This woman friend, Shug Averi, is a big singer, and she leads an unconventional life. This lady, Shug Averi, is a big singer and leads an unconventional life. When she is very sick, Mr., the husband of Shelley, brings her home to take care of her because no one in town wants her. She has had 3 children with Albert or Mr. She has had 3 children with Albert or Mr. and has left the children with her parents to take care of them. Think of what kind of lady she is. सोचिए कैसी महिला होगी वो. She has had 3 children with Albert or Mr. and has left the children with her parents to take care of them. Nettie, in the meantime, has gone to Africa with the missionary couple Shemuel and Karen. Nettie, in the meantime, has gone to Africa with the missionary couple Shemuel and Karen. Through a strange twist of events, Shelley's 2 children, Olivia and Adam. Shelley के 2 बच्चे, Olivia and Adam. Through a strange twist of events, Shelley's 2 children, Olivia and Adam, have been adopted by Samuel and his wife, Corinne. So शैली के दोनों बच्चे ओलिविया और आदम की देखभाल